We're now going to create and edit ellipses. The ellipse tool is used to create ellipses and perfect circles. Next, we're going to create a few ellipses with the ellipse tool to make a colored area on the body of the bird. Press and hold the mouse on the rectangle tool and select the ellipse tool. So there's your rectangle tool up there. We're going to click that and select ellipse tool. To the right of the green rectangle, drag to make an ellipse with an approximate width and height of 1.18 inches. I'm going to hold down the shift key because I know that will make a perfect circle. 1.18. Doesn't have to be perfect, but somewhere around that area. Let's click the fill color in the properties panel, and we're going to select the white black gradient color, which is right here, and that will fill that shape. Drag the circle by the blue center dot to the center point widget onto the rectangles. So we're going to click right here and drag it over. See that purple line? Somewhere around in there. The ellipse is going to cover the rectangles, and that's okay for now. Choose select and then deselect. Next, you'll practice creating a circle with the ellipse tool to make the bird's eye with the ellipse tool still selected. Press and drag, and we want to hold down the shift key, and we're going to make one that's 0.4 inches. Click the fill box, and we are going to select black to make it black. Press the escape key. Click the stroke color box. Make sure the swatches option is selected. Select a yellow color to change the stroke color. And then we want to change the stroke weight to 6 points. Now we're going to move the circle into place and make it smaller. So drag the circle from its center onto the bird to make the eye. So drag it over here. To make it smaller, in the transform section of the properties panel on the right, make sure maintain width and height portions to the right of the width and height right here. It looks like this. That's what we want it to look like. And change either value to 0.09. And you can see that they both changed. Notice that the stroke weight, the size doesn't change when you make the circle smaller, and the fill seems to have disappeared. You'll learn why next. As you've seen, strokes are visible outlines or borders of an object or path. By default, strokes center on a path, which means that along the path, half the stroke weight is on the one side, half is on the other. You can adjust this alignment so the stroke appears in the center, which is the default, inside or outside. Next, we're going to change the stroke so you can see the fill of the eye. With the small circle still selected, click the word stroke. That opens the stroke panel. In the stroke panel, click the align stroke to outside. See right there is that center, inside, it's aligned to outside. The circle is small, but I hope you can see the difference when the stroke is aligned to the outside. So you can see that we now see that there. So choose select and deselect. There's his eye. We're now going to create a pie shape from an ellipse. Ellipses have two pie widgets that you can drag to create a pie shape. Next, you'll modify the gradient circle using those pie widgets to become half a circle. Select the selection tool. Click the gradient fill body. With it selected, you'll see the pie widget on the right side of the ellipse. That's this right here. Drag that pie widget clockwise around the bottom of the ellipse just a little and then release it. So we're going to go to about, let's see, right about there and release it. Notice there's another pie widget in the same place. See right here. The pie widget you just jagged is called a pie start angle, and the other pie widget is called a pie end angle. Drag the other pie widget, the pie end angle, from the same place counterclockwise around the top of the ellipse. Don't worry about how far. The circle will look best if we see exactly half of it. That requires the two pie widgets you drag to be at precise angles to each other, showing 180 degrees of the circle. You can adjust them with precision in the Properties panel. So in the Properties panel to the right, click More Options in the Transform. To show more options, choose 90 from Pie Start Angle menu. And then choose 270 from the pie end 270. So you chose 90 here and 270 here, and you see that it's perfectly straight now. Press the Escape key to hide that panel. Click the Arrange button in the Properties panel. And choose Send Backward. And that will send it behind the bird beak rectangle. If necessary, drag the gradient filled half circle so that its right edge aligns with the black bird shape. So mine is aligned. If yours isn't, then do that. Select the yellow eye circle. Click the Arrange button in the Properties panel. Choose Send Backward. And that sends it behind the green shape. Drag the shape into position like you would, so let's drag this. Drag it over there. We're now going to create polygons. Using the polygon tool, you can create shapes with multiple straight sides. By default, the polygon tool draws hexagons, which are six-sided shapes. What's different about polygons is they are drawn from the center. Polygons are also live shapes, which means attributes like size, rotation, number of sides, and more remain editable after you create them. Now you're going to create several polygons to make the tail feathers and feet of the bird. So press and hold the ellipse tool and select the polygon tool. Let's click View and then Smart Guides to turn them off. Move the pointer to the right of the bird and drag to the right to begin drawing a polygon, but don't release the mouse button yet. Press the down arrow key once, and that reduced the number of sides of the polygon to 5. Don't release the mouse button yet. Hold down the Shift key, and that will straighten the shape. Release the mouse button and then the key, and leave that shape selected so you see how it's perfectly straight now. Click the stroke color box. Make sure the swatches option is selected and select None to remove that stroke. Now choose View and Smart Guides again to turn them back on. With the polygon tool still selected, drag the little side widget on the right side of the bounding box down to change the number of sides to 6. So right now you see we have 5. When I click that and drag it down, it makes it 6. And this would be a great time to click File, Save.